The galaxy is burning. Brother fights brother, and treason splits the Imperium of Man. This is the Age of Darkness. Whether you're a warrior of the Legiones Astartes, an adept of the Mechanicum, or just a mere mortal in a universe of madness, you'll find a place here. Welcome to the Remembrancer's Retreat, coming to you from within the depths of the Vengeful Spirit.
What's happening? My name is Jesse Irvin, and this is the Remembrancer's Retreat podcast, your place for Horus Heresy and Specialist games, news, information, and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm here today with Ryan, Jared,
hello,
Will, and Austin.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Biggest news probably this week is, well, two things. Biggest one, in my opinion, right now is NoVA was canceled, which is sad.
Wah, wah.
Yep. It was the right call, but still a little heartbroken.
It's bittersweet. But I'm also kind of happy because I have not done any projects in the past few months. There's been no...
So it was a saving grace in disguise.
Yes.
You're like,
Thank God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but the problem is now, Jesse, you're going to wind up with about the same amount of time to prep for NoVA. But the people that had already been prepping for NoVA are going to be twice as good now.
It's true, but that's okay. I am content in my mediocrity.
Look, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to kiss that Best Painted Award goodbye.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Tabletop Inquirer about that? About the 40K doubles partner who was finally going to have enough time to finish his army?
No, he still won't have enough time to finish.
Yeah.
No, bro, I promise. I think this gives me enough time to properly...
You literally had another 12 months. But yeah, I think it was an episode or two ago. An episode or two ago, I mentioned that I had 3 Cenobites on bases. I double checked. No, I only have 2. So I actually went back in the hobby.
Oh my God, Jesse.
I was like, 1, 2. Oh no, I lied on the internet. Oh boy.
Well, that's our credibility ruined.
First.
But now I'm just like trying to find stuff. After the move, I'm slowly unpacking my models and things. I can't find my 10-man heavy support Volkite squadron to save my life, and I'm really upset because that's personally my favorite painted infantry unit.
Well, got to buy some more.
Eventually,
the only way to bring them back.
Yeah. As soon as you hit the click.
As soon as you finish.
You buy more as soon as you finish painting them. Yeah, you'll find more.
And then you'll need that guy running 2 heavy Volkite squads.
Oh yeah.
Which is
But hey, for real though, let's talk about when unpacking. I think that's like pretty good to get you to paint, right? Because like as you unpack it, you're like, all right, stop unpacking. I have to paint this first, and then we can continue unpacking, right? Find an unpainted model. You just
You're
stop
either a
unpacking
better man
all other
than
models.
I am, or wildly optimistic.
Will, that is
That is not at all what happened with me.
just childish. I don't even know. I don't have words for that.
What happened with me was, hey, I've just unpacked everything, and it's all neatly stored away, which means I don't see it, which means my hobby space is free of stuff, which means new projects, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, that's exactly what happened to me when I moved into my new place. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, like I got no projects to do. I don't see anything, so that must mean I've got nothing to do.
Right?
Will assembles
Or nothing to
a
paint.
single
Way
model
more.
from the sprue and then paints it entirely, and then assembles a second model and then paints it entirely. That's his method.
Jesus, I wish I had that kind of discipline. I do not. Because I feel like if you did that, that'd be pretty good. Like that would keep you motivated because you'd be like, all right, I get to do the whole little project again where I get to build it, paint it, base it, call that one done, and then I get to do it all again.
You're an
It's when I
insane
build 2,000 points and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I have to paint all these now.
See,
the
I'm
right
the
way
other
to do
way. I'm the other way. I don't know if it's just I've been playing guard and like 6mm gaming for too long or what. But if a project has like less than 40 models in it, and like a batch,
It's not even a project for you. Yeah.
like it, Yes,
just
but
like,
not in a good way.
This is
It's
a
not like,
night
there's
project.
10
This is a
models.
project
I'll
I can do
knock
at night.
this out in an afternoon. No, there's only 10 models here, and I'll put paint on a couple, and I'm like, fuck, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna paint these 200 like tiny whatever, like tiny space wolves instead, because that'll be a lot of fun and that'll be a big accomplishment. Why
I think bad painting is for cheaters, personally. You should paint
Yeah.
every model
Yeah.
individually.
I only buy models individually and wait for them to arrive at my house, and then I build them.
Ryan, this is my excuse for why my painting's not as good as your Will's. All right, I speed paint 100 fucking militia at a time, and they look great
Yeah,
for having done them in about a week and a half.
yeah. I mean, they're going to look great as
Here's the secret, Ryan.
Mhm.
I could spend another 60 hours on those models, and they wouldn't look any better.
Oh no.
Well, and the real secret is just get them killed fast enough where they get scooped off the table and it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Exactly.
you're right. You're right.
They
Like,
look
"Oops, let me put these back in the bag. No, they're dead.
And here's the thing: if they die far enough away from my opponent, they can only really see the mass of base colors anyway. Right?
That's right. That's the
It's
that's
only
the
when
key
they
with
get in the
marksman.
enemy
Yep.
deployment zone that they're like, wait a minute, none of these guys have like eyes, and there doesn't seem to be that third level of highlight that should be on them. Yeah, fuck all
So-
that.
I think that definitely is a thing. There should be like a term for it where just the totality of a militia army is just so, 150 models or something. You're like, oh wow, this is great, and then you like pick up one. You're like,
Stalin
maybe
said it. Quantity has a quality all its own.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a fact.
I mean, that's why my 6 mil armies, and really all 6 mil armies, are like base color and then either a highlight or a wash, both if it's like, a general on his own little horse, and that is it. And if you put like a chapter symbol on your Space Wolves, my god, there's your golden demon, we're done.
You've done it. You're a madman.
It's why I love 6mm. Will can't outdo me in 6mm because you can't put 3 layers of highlights on it. You just can't. It's too little.
You would double the size of the model.
Exactly.
It's physically impossible for you to beat me at this game.
You guys think I like it for the games? No, you can't. My mediocre painting standard just becomes the standard.
All right. So, how do we feel about Nova cancellation? Let's. Obviously,
I'm disappointed, obviously, right? Like everybody is. However, I do agree that it was for the best interest of the general population and all the event attendees and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm fine with it. Just put that on a store credit or something like that, and have my tickets ready to go and purchase with store credit.
Yeah.
Right. So Nova, much like Adepticon did. So for some of you, this is your second convention that's been canceled in this manner.
That I can't even imagine how devastating that is. I know Austin won.
Like, this was going to be my year of gaming. My first year
Same.
at Adepticon, my first year running an event at Nova. And shot to shit all the time.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, we can pick up next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nova got canceled. They did a big video announcement, I think this last Friday or Thursday. And
Or was it Wednesday?
so
I can't remember.
yeah, it could have been Wednesday, but basically all the health and safety things, and they offer a couple things. So you can get a full refund, right? And all the instructions are in the email that they sent. You can either go onto the web card and you get a full refund, or they've also asked for donations, right? So if you want to either donate the full amount that you had in your cart, you can do that, and that's going to help keep Nova solvent so they can run next year. You can donate a portion of your cart, or you can take it as store credit, so you just have that much for your Nova 2021 account. So if you were going to attend Nova and now you're trying to figure out what to do, I would strongly urge you to consider donating some or all of your web cart to Nova, right? Because the bottom line is they are taking a big financial hit. There's a lot of contractual stuff that they're still going to have to pay for, even though they're not running the convention.
Mm-hmm.
And the hotel is a key one.
Yeah.
And so
man, that sucks. That was a hard.
If you enjoy Nova, what's that?
I was saying that was a very hard decision for them to make, and I don't envy having to make that call.
Yeah, especially because I assume
No, I
it
do
was
not, yeah.
without the old head.
Well,
Yeah, because
He was
Mike just
already-
left for
already working at GW at that point.
yeah.
So kind of the first big call of the.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things. And they were very upfront in the video. They had
Mhm.
one of the 40K leads who did a video. And, basically, if none of the Nova attendees donate any money, Nova's not going to happen, most likely next year. Knowing the community, I think a fair number of people will donate enough to keep it solvent, hopefully. And, so I guess we put all our plans on hold. If you had armies you were building, they're still going to be viable next year, and keep on keeping on.
Although
And hope for the
I
best.
will say,
Yeah.
one of the things I liked a lot about what Nova said when it comes to donating, because I think Adepticon had the same thing, and
They did,
full disclosure, I donated to Nova. I just put the money in the cart for next year for Adepticon. And the big reason I decided to donate money to Nova is because they're a charity event. And they specifically said that any donations above and beyond what it takes to cover
the operating
all
cost.
those fees and whatnots are just going to go to the charity.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Right.
go into their pockets. It's not going to be, hey, we're going to take it and make Nova even bigger and better next year. It's just going to go straight like it did a charitable donation, straight to, I think most of it's going to Doctors Without Borders this year.
Yeah, they said 90. They've earmarked 90% of the NOCF for Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, so it's not like I didn't look at it quite the same way because it wasn't just, hey, I want my my really awesome event to be back next year. It's also, it's going to a good cause still beyond, just making nerds happy.
Yep.
And understand a lot of people aren't in that position, but at the very least, guys, roll your money over into next year. Because it's not like it expires, so even if you have something crazy, you can't go next year. 2022 is a fun time too, I bet.
Yeah. And that's the other. So even if you keep it in the web cart, that's still money that Nova can use for its needs.
Yeah.
Right? You still have that money; it's not going anywhere. So that's an important point for sure. And then the other thing to keep in mind, when you look at on the charity foundation, so you have the Nova Open, which is an organization, then you have the Nova Open Charity Foundation, which is the actual 501c charity. Normally at Nova, you have all of the raffles, you have the silent auctions, you have all of the proceeds from the charity lounge, and then you have anything that's above and beyond their operating costs gets donated to NOCF as well, right? So they're not going to have 3 of the 4 of those this year. They're still going to run the raffles, which go live on 1 July. But that's it. You're not going to have a whole – the NOCF is probably going to make significantly less money this year because you don't have all of the activity going around during the actual convention. So, it is what it is. I think, Nova, Adepticon, all of these conventions that are having to adjust – plans for expansion is probably all put on hold. You're probably going to see status quo next year. What we saw in 19 is probably very similar to what you're going to see in 21.
How much more could they expand it?
Well, I mean,
they need another venue.
Yeah.
no, when I say
Just add a couple
expansion,
floors. To
yeah,
the
not
hotel.
expansion ideas, right? So new things they wanted to do or bring in that they hadn't done previously. So just something to keep in mind.
Like I said, this year has been difficult for just about everybody.
Oh yeah, it's been a killer
It's
year.
this year sucks, guys.
Fucking
Let's just gonna put,
Yeah.
Big time.
come December 31st. Let's just put this in a goddamn dumpster fire. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
My favorite meme of 2020 has been the dude labeled 2020 smacking the shit out of two other dudes labeled 2012 and 1999, saying, "This is how you do an apocalypse."
Yeah.
Oh, it has not. Yeah, but so yeah. What is
they are
everyone's
doing-
what is everyone's plans for 2021, Nova?
One thing, the raffles.
Yeah, there's
Oh, it's true. You got the raffles. That's still happening this year. Ryan, you're working on those Space Wolves, right?
I am. I'm working on 40k Space Wolves. A little out of character for me, a little palate cleanser.
Yeah. Mix it up a bit.
We only have one 30k that we're doing, which is the Ultramarines ones that you guys put together, which look fantastic, by the way.
Oh, really? There's only one 30k army.
Well,
huh?
so there was supposed to be another one. There was a gentleman who is anonymous who was donating one of his armies that was very well done. However, he's physically separated because of the pandemic. Him and his wife decided to go wait it out in a different state with their parents, and so they don't even have access to their apartment up in Massachusetts. So yeah, that's a thing. He can't actually get to the army that he was going to donate. So that one,
it's kind of hard to be mad at him. It's like pandemic, guys.
There is talk, and this is unofficial, but they may end up holding a second round of raffles because this is not the only raffle lot that has been affected by the pandemic. There's maybe half a dozen others that were planned but are not going forward because people couldn't get what they needed, or plans changed because someone's life got turned upside down and they weren't able to work on a charity auction. So,
well, the NOCF they've done seasonal charities before, right? Anyway, right? Don't they have like a fall or a winter charity?
Sometimes they do. So, like last year, they did it all just during NoVA.
Yeah,
they did all the raffles during NoVA. But the year before, if you remember, they had a summer auction as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they did summer auctions and fall auctions. So there might be something similar this year. They're still working out details, but we shall see.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, there will be a 30k Alpha Legion army that will be going up for auction as well.
Nice. Poking around the NOCF website, I noticed that Dave Taylor has pulled one of his old Ultramarine 40k armies out of the basement and put them up for auction.
Oh yeah,
that thing looks nice.
A lot of pretty Ultramarines on
it's
display.
all just the old standard, regular Marines.
Yep.
We're talking like, is it like the old school style too, where it's like blue and yellow?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It had a very retro look to it, but I don't think it was that retro. I mean, they were on 25 millimeter bases too.
Oh no!
Oh, that didn't sound good.
Wow. Okay.
You good?
No. So
you dropped them off?
I pinned the Lasloks, so for transportating, I can just like push them into slot and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And when I set the model down, it just they popped off.
Oh, okay.
So everything's ruined. It's all broken.
So you're saying that those Lasloks can be taken off and potentially thrown in a dumpster next time you set it on a table and play me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, Will. It's WYSIWYG only, man. I don't see the Lasloks on there. You're gonna.
That ain't WYSIWYG. What are you talking about? Awesome.
I'm looking at
yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, right? I think everybody was hoping that we could have like a nice hoorah with the family after the whole pandemic thing. But we're gonna survive. We'll be all right.
Yep.
This too shall pass.
Indeed. My mother used to say that to me all the time.
Indeed.
No,
I was about to say, was your mom Teal'c from Stargate?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So Dave Taylor, this is an aside, this is the 40k army. It's like all of 5th Company with a bunch of HQ stuff.
Copy and paste that link into this chat. I want to...
Yeah.
I can't look for it.
If anybody's looking, and I'm sure Jesse can put it into the thing, but NoVAOpenFoundation.org is where you will find all of the where you'll find the NOCF site, and you'll find all the different armies and lots on there. Most of the pictures are up for those that are completed, so you'll be able to look through there. We're separated by armies, single models, detachments, that kind of stuff.
And I did say earlier they were on 25 millimeters, but Dave Taylor was actually going to rebase them all to get them to the 32 millimeter standard as well.
Yep.
Neat.
Yeah, those things are pretty.
What was that website? You said the Nova Open Charity Foundation?
Well, it's NoVAOpenFoundation.org, all one word. About 200 models.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that thing is nuts.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole company.
Yeah.
Oh, look, and a freehand banner and
some.
some acolytes.
Yeah. I might bid on that.
I'd do it for the hell of it.
Yeah, just on the off chance, right?
Yeah, you know.
But then I would have to take a different side on Robert Guilliman Day if I had this army.
Yeah. Cool.
And you're not going to do that.
No, it's a time-honored tradition of Nova. I may have to call Chris at like 2 in the morning.
Well, we might just do a live show.
I was gonna say we'll
do a live
group chat with
Robert
Chris.
Gilliman Day.
Just
Just get everybody
on
hammered and
Dude.
shit all over Rob Gilliman.
this is the way.
They did these pictures really well of the honored. Like they did a whole shield wall photo. Oh, I have not seen these photos. These are fucking cool, man.
New ones? Because I looked the other day and it was still
the models or whatever, but like the photos are fucking. They did the photos justice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were absolute dog shit, and these guys made them look decent.
Okay. I hadn't seen these pictures yet. Oh my
they
goodness!
Look exactly like the pictures, and they do. They do. These are real fucking pretty.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I hadn't seen these new ones
such
yet.
a tool.
1,500 points.
Oh, look at that! They got the list there and everything too. Very cool.
With those fucking cheating Invictus Caesarians swinging axes at initiative, which I'm still a little bitter about. That's all right.
Come on.
You just need a Tyrannic Greatsword. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah. Fuck! I wish I could bid on these. God damn it! Oh my god!
You fool! You've been played.
The whole time I was painting them, I was like, man, I fucking hate that I have to give these away. Secretly, for sure. I was like, I really like these.
Well, you should be very proud of it.
But the pictures make it a lot better, man. Yeah, the white background did a lot of justice. I think the photographers did really well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think all of us should be proud because that was a combined group effort. I mean, I had help from every single person on the cast, I think.
I did the most.
Except for me. I did absolutely.
Yes.
No, Austin, you took the army up to Maryland under the threat of contagion.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah,
Brave the Rona.
You risked
Never mind.
it all.
All of it. I take full credit.
I'm taking full credit. Shut up.
I did a little touch up on Will's shoddy paint job on the drive. One-handed, reaching over.
He dropped a model. That's his way of saying
On the drive, you said?
Wasn't it Bo said he painted Fulgrim on the way to the Isfahan game a couple years ago?
He did.
I think that's what he said. Yeah. That's bonkers, dude.
I still don't believe him, but okay.
No, it's true, man. So he didn't paint the whole thing. It was already pretty well painted.
Okay.
But he did a ton of details in there. I kept trying to hit all the potholes on 95 going down.
Take a detour through Baltimore real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Just
Hold on, we got to do the eyes. Let's slow it down real quick.
That's what he said.
Stop in the middle
slug
of
out.
95.
Yeah, he's like, dude, stop. I got to do the eyes. Pull over.
let's go with 70 on 95.
Oh, man. We're going to miss you, Nova, this year.
This correctness looks pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm upset now looking at the correctness that I won't be able to show it off at Nova. But I think what somebody was saying, we should have like a little get together as a family.
Yeah.
When all this clears up and have our own mini Nova sort of thing.
I think because there is some chance that there'll be some restrictions lifted by Nova time.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, and I say this with love and as an overweight, out of shape nerd, there are a lot of overweight, out of shape nerds at Nova, and that's just a terrible, terrible thing to have. A couple thousand of us together at once, but 12 or 15 is a much more, a much smaller risk. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Well, it's also easier
we'll just
to
put Brova,
separate
right?
12 or 15 players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to keep 6 feet distance
You're
between
not
12 or
having to
15
fit
people
all
versus
2,000 of them in 2 elevators multiple times a day.
Yeah. So, question. I don't know. Are we ready to transition to talk about ninth
Yeah.
and some of the new stuff? Because something just came up. We're talking about tables, right? This is what got me into this segue. Excellent segue on my part, by the way. I know.
I loved it.
Fantastic.
But have y'all seen this controversy with minimum table size now that's come up?
Oh,
The 40K community is. I know, Jared. That was my face too. Like what? Because
They're always bitterly acting
looking
about
at this, it feels like it, right? Yeah, like
Calm
you're
down.
talking about how
so.
they have the
GW has
different
released
size,
new.
right?
Right, they released minimum table size. This allows people to play on the new kill team mats that you get in the boxes for like 500-point games. It
Yeah.
sets a standard of a minimum size table for a game, which is great, I think. There is a huge sub-community of 40K players called Team Tiny Table, and they are apparently cutting their fat mats down to the minimum table size.
Oh, what?
And I'm baffled by this because I'm like, you guys understand that like masking tape exists, right? You can just mask
Wait.
off the new size.
They're cutting the mats?
Codex
A
on
line
the
of
board
dice.
edge.
Literally any other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's satire, but then I've also seen somebody take a saw to their fat mat, so it went from satire to reality very quickly.
You see satire all the time. That being said, we have seen people burn their armies because a new edition came out.
I would like to think
Yeah,
these guys
that's
started
true.
this as
And they'll
satire,
fucking do it again.
and then somebody took it seriously and didn't realize it was a joke. It was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, we gotta cut all
like
the mats now.
you guys can
It's a
you can
Tide
you
challenge
can
all
microwave
over
your
again.
iPhone to charge them now, sort of thing.
We
Yeah.
made them waterproof.
Put this ball of tinfoil in. It'll come out perfectly round.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
I will say,
But
I really
anyway,
like
so
that
so
idea.
that was bizarre. I do love the minimum table idea, right? Because there's no like, oh, every table has to be 6x4 now. Like, no, you can play on a 2x3 and still have a legal game. You know what I mean? Which is
Yep.
cool.
It'll be interesting.
But
to see if
always
any
it was like that.
events-
You could always just agree between players to be like, do we really need this whole table? We're playing 500 points. You know,
Yeah.
like okay, no, shrink it down.
You'll have
Let's
like
do
2 feet on the right that no one ever uses.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
that.
if
Yeah,
events
exactly. You just
come
keep your
off
books and
the
your dice
6x4
over there.
standard, right?
Sorry, say that one more time, Austin. The third time, please.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
It'll be interesting to see if events come off the 6x4 standard, right? If they're going
I
to
am
start
curious.
having
Yeah, and,
Is
smaller
fat-
tables, especially like the width, right? Are they going to try and shrink the width a bit?
ITC is
Have
already
places?
considering it.
ITC is snipping up their mats as we speak right now. They got 2 guys up in the attic, and they're like, cut them all up! Cut them all up!
with good social distancing. 2 guys, one on each end of the attic.
What's the what is the? I saw a little chart. I think it was on Warhammer Community.
So the largest table size, or game size, minimum table size, is a foot less. So it's like 60 inches wide, as opposed to 72 inches wide.
That's
And again, these
really?
are all just so you're losing a whole foot off the table size, and that's for a game of like 3,000 points. So that could be a very small table for 3,000 points, you know? And people are now, it's going back and forth, like, oh, is this new minimum table size to favor more assault armies and that kind of stuff? Are they trying to make this more of an assault game base now and less gun lines? Are they trying to balance gun lines with all that? So it's a whole sub-level, and it's just something I'm happy that Horse Heresy doesn't have to deal with.
I think
So-
the shrinking of the length of the table also probably gives a lot more to assault armies now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is,
Yes.
And
So it is going to be.
go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's going to be a foot shorter left and right, and then it'll be about 6 inches shorter from long side. You know what I mean?
all right. I have the thing right now, right? And so they say
You actually got the source. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
it's on Warhammer Community. So they have the,
Yeah, let me pull that up.
different detachments, right? So if you do Battle Forged, if you do a combat patrol, it's supposed to take about an hour. You can have one detachment. If you're doing an incursion, it's up to 2 hours with 2 detachments, etc. Right?
Mhm.
So they say for combat control and combat patrol and incursion, it's 44 by 30 inches, which is kind of awkward. Strike Force, which I guess is probably maybe like a 2,000 point game or something. Up to 3 hours. That sounds about a 2,000 point game. 44 inches by 60 inches. And Onslaught is 44 inches by 90 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is it 90? Okay, not 60. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely size reductions all across the board, right?
Yeah. I mean, I personally think,
Weird.
Usually when I play like 1,000 point game, it's very common to drop that down to a 4x4.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Like Zone Mortalis and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you're playing Centurion or whatever. You don't want a 6x4 for that. Or I guess you could.
Spend 3 turns just trying to get to the other person.
I mean, if you're playing like a militia army, you want that. Right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have all my basilisks back here, bro. Come at me.
But I will say,
or
I think
Mechanicum, right? I think any shooting army wants longer tables.
Yeah,
I think another reason
I know I
though, that
always
they're
want
going to
longer
these
tables.
smaller tables is accessibility, right?
Oh, sure.
They have these little one-man stores now. You can't play a full 6x4 game on them, or even a 4x4 1v1 a lot of times.
Excuse me.
But with these tables shrunk down a little bit, you're now can actually play like a legal game on a normal size kitchen table.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Because even before, if you cut it down to a 4x4, most tables aren't 4 feet wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that out to my detriment while looking for a gaming table when I was moving, and wound up just saying, fuck it, and building my own.
Yeah.
I said, fuck it. I just bought 2 tables and slapped them together. I found one.
I mean, I don't know. People get so hung up on it's in the book. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. Like, come
They're
on.
not- they don't
It's a
notice
freaking
the
game. Like,
minimum.
They're all recommendations, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it says that throughout.
Yeah.
When you read the 40K rule book, one of the first things it talks about is have fun. These are recommendations. Come to an agreement with your partner. And I get it for like tournaments and ITC. It's got to be standardized and everything. And that's something that those event organizers are going to have to figure out as a community. But like, even for our events, small events, if you tell everybody, hey, you're playing on 4x4s, or you're playing on these 22 by 30s for a kill zone type game, like, that just is what it is, as long as everybody knows that going in.
12x4.
What's that?
Our next event might be on a 12x4.
Right.
To be fair,
12 inches by 40 inches. Or
we
by
have an
40.
8-foot trench section
Oh, yeah.
and a whole other fortification complex.
Well, but you're also writing the scenario, and everybody knows what they're going into, and that's totally cool. I like it. I like how the few things I've read about Ninth, I'm kind of digging most of what I've read.
And as long as people are having fun and forging their narrative and not cutting up fat mats, I think that's
Well, their
Yes,
personal.
that is the biggest atrocity of it all.
Yeah.
that really
That's their personal property, man.
punching a
They
baby.
can do whatever
dude.
they
That
want.
is- oh,
Yeah. Well, if you have a 6x4 fat mat, you cut that bitch in half.
I
you
would
got-
cut myself in half.
You can play 2 games at once.
Sir.
That's right. Think of it from an EO perspective. Man, you just got 2 tables out of that.
No. If only there were an alternative.
Yeah.
So continuing, let's talk a little bit more about Ninth Edition. There was a few articles over the week showing, new and improved features of Ninth Edition over 8th Edition. And honestly, I've seen some very
Armor's
positive.
back, baby. Yeah.
They say armor's back, but there's still no side and rear shot difference.
Oh, well, having read the new terrain rules, I think that kind of balances out, man.
Yeah.
The new terrain rules I like because it's been a pet peeve of mine for forever that You can
So
draw
it's
a line
just
of
been
sight
like,
through
add one to
three
your cover
fucking
save.
through 3 fucking windows and like a crack in a wall, and you can shoot at the other guy, and he gets a 5-up cover save, but like nobody's gonna try and make that shot. Like it's through 3 windows and a freaking crack in the wall.
Oh, I'm making
So
that
I
shot.
do like that area terrain is like always going to be blocking line of sight and things either side of it. That's something I could
given
enjoy
terrain
Yeah.
in Harris.
keywords actually now. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it a little easier to get line of sight blocking, so all these events aren't just having
Yeah.
big foam squares.
There's even
England.
some, right. There's even some terrain that is so dense that it even provides a cover save in melee, representing like dudes fighting from room to room, or
What?
having to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an interesting thing. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, but it's an interesting concept that I think they're right to explore at least.
I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and then we saw what's in the box today, which was awesome. Today being Saturday,
Yep.
and
It's
the amount of stuff that's in there is just. I was so blown away by the fact that they did not include. I think that's what got me the most is there's no dice or ruler in there, and I'm like, whoa, this is like unprecedented, right? Because like every other starter set I've known that they release has dice and but everybody throws those away, so maybe they just got tired of having to print those and produce those. And people throw them away.
Nobody uses whatever like plastic stick they give you for measuring things.
No.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think
No, it's
now
true.
they have so many like faction bespoke dice that
You're right. Yeah.
they know that like, oh hey, you're buying the Ultramarine and Necron box set, and you're going to split it with your buddy. So why should we spend an extra 3 cents a box giving you 6 shitty dice you won't use when we know you're going to buy the Ultramarine and Necron dice anyway? Or it's like a bit of an upsell, right? Oh yeah, you guys are starting 40K. Oh, that's great. You get Necrons, Ultramarines. We got some really cool dice for those 2 armies over here.
Yeah, we got these dice that you can't actually read what the fuck's on
22
them because
bucks.
they're all different.
This is why I never buy specific dice. You guys are crazy.
I do
Although
have
they
to
have
say
gotten
that-
a lot better with that, Ryan. But yeah, those Ultramarine dice,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still kicking around. But they're
for,
like,
for reals though.
Those dice are garbage.
One of the
All
main reasons-
faction- I mean,
Oh yeah.
sorry. Like the
Any
Nurgle
of
dice,
them from
it's supposed to
GW.
be pustules.
Oh,
Hey,
How many
hey,
pustules
those-
are on this side?
those orc dice are a national treasure. The squig
Oh,
ones,
the squigs.
are kind of those are great.
yeah, those squig ones actually bounce and everything too,
Yeah.
which is I thought pretty funny.
For our
Really
listeners-
frustrating when you're trying to quick roll.
Hold
The
on,
only
hold on.
problem is an orc player needs about 60 of them.
And they were like what? $40 a pop, I think, or something.
No. They
Oh,
weren't
Jesus.
that on. I think they were like 16 for 10, 22 for 10.
I think the squig dice were a little bit more than that. I could be wrong.
So for our
Yeah,
listeners
I
at
think they're
home,
usually 30.
I want y'all to understand when you play Austin, he has dice ranging from like, a quarter of your pinky nail up to the fist-sized turn counting dice. Some that are solid metal. So when you
I have
Awesome.
acquired a lot of metal dice now, thanks to
Yeah.
Forge World.
And I'm guessing he
pounded
rolled them all at
Mhm.
the same time.
steel that just
Well, no, I have them all for specific things. Like my giant blue die of doom, I've had since I was about 12, and it rolls atrociously, and normally is just a turn counter. Then I have the little tiny micro dice, which are like 3 millimeters on a side,
they're the
which
worst.
I really like for wound counting, because no matter what die and what weird color or shape they are, if they're vaguely the same size as the dice I use to roll, I'll pick them up and roll them. So the tiny dice I use for wound
Yeah.
counting and things like that. And then the metal dice,
He's lying. He uses them to cheat because you can't read them.
look at their eyes,
How many
full timer.
Let's be
What
honest
does that
here.
thing have? Oh, it looks like 6 to me.
Yeah, 6. There's 2
All
of them.
right,
It's
Jared,
18.
just for that, next time we play, I'm using all tiny dice for everything.
That's fine. I'm just gonna nuke you. Rewriting my list.
Exhale while I'm rolling them so they float away on the breeze.
That's right.
But I do love those metal dice. They are atrocious.
Oh.
They roll horribly.
You could kill
But
a
it's
man.
a lot of fun for my like Warlord Titan firing the missiles Just pick up those 10 metal dice.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it always gets everybody's attention too.
Yeah.
Well, you hear them on
When
the
you
table.
hear those things roll, everybody stops and looks over, and they're like, "What would they get, dog? What'd they get? What'd you roll, man?
Choose,
Stop
bro. They're not good
everybody's
at it."
game right now. It's got our-
Battlegrounds dice. They roll 6s.
Yeah.
They've
Way
never
too
done me
long.
wrong.
Yeah, I love the Battlegrounds dice. I also got some of Oscar's dice, which are cool. That's what I love is like collecting little offshoot dice that are like limited run prints or, by an artist or something like that. I got the Tabletop Inquiry dice, and those are fun. Or Inquiry. Inquiry.
Inquirer.
Yeah, thank you. Can I be real, though? You guys know that my dice have the Crusade Imperialis on it, right? Like the eagle with the lightning bolts through it and everything.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I don't play any traitor armies is because I don't feel good rolling those dice as a traitor. So that has been the main reason that I have never played traitor since I got those dice. Because I'm like, I don't want that bad juju on my hands, man. I can't do it. I have to play loyalist because of these dice.
I mean,
there
I
are no,
applaud you
there are
playing
no
loyalist,
traitor armies that are.
but for a really stupid reason.
There are also no traitor armies that are black armored.
Nope. None.
Oh my god, is that true? You're right.
I mean, you could do like
What?
Black Sons of Horus.
How is that possible?
Well, okay, the Reaver
yeah.
scheme for the Sons
Yeah,
of Horus.
yeah.
After you've lost the war, Sons of Horus.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I found them. You get 20 of those squig dice for $30, which is not like terrible as far as big dice go.
No, but it is more than 50 cents a dice, and I don't like to pay
Amen.
That's
more
fair.
than 50 cents a dice.
Amen.
But truly, Gork and or Mork will be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just tickled pink to see those dice rolling around.
Yeah. I personally enjoy mine.
But so we got what's inside the box, right? Oh, dude,
yeah,
I
we
think
were
the
talking
Sisters
about
of
the
Battle
starter
dice look really nice.
Oh yeah, they gave me 12.
Yeah, that's what we were
fucking
talking about
white
before we got
dice with
distracted by
black
dice.
tips. Yeah. It's like, come on, those are miracle dice. Come on, bro. Like, don't even bother.
Yeah, they ordered a shipment of them for the starter set, and then decided, you know what, these don't need dice. Just give me
Yeah.
Sisters of Battle.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about the new box set. What's in there?
A shit ton of models, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I
It is
don't
a
have
lot.
the accurate count.
Indomitus, right?
What is it, 60? Yeah, Indomitus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is. It is close to 60 models. I mean, it's like 20 or 30 per faction.
It's insane the amount of characters that are just falling out of this box. It
Yeah.
really feels like this is becoming. Yeah, I'll say it. This is age of 40K is what it is,
62.
right? Because I don't know how familiar you guys are with Age of Sigmars,
Mm-hmm.
but a typical game has 6 heroes in it. Like a typical list will have 6 heroes in it, or HQs, right?
Okay.
One of them being your war. It's huge on headquarters gameplay. Heroes fighting each other, and then you got your battle line to support them and that kind of stuff. But mostly it's like heroes trying to buff the battle line, and the battle line's just there to keep the heroes alive. You know what I
So
mean?
it's Hero Hammer.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
eight-
it is a lot
eighth-
like that, and I feel like this is kind of getting to that,
eighth
which I
edition is like
don't
that
mind,
too,
honestly.
right? Like all of your,
Yes.
you know, your like on my sisters, I've got 2 HQs, but then on the elite side, like the Repentia Superior is an individual model, the Hospitalier is an individual model. Like, there's a bunch of just one-off things that used to be parts of units that are now individual. That all
Yeah, I
offer
guess
buffs
so,
or
huh?
whatever. Yeah. So, and it's a big part of your army, like getting those benefits.
It's nice. I like it. I like
Yeah.
seeing all the different new characters that they have come out. They just
I like those
scream
big
like,
ass
you know,
elves.
Templars or Dark Angels to me, man.
Executioners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely Black
We'll do
Templars.
Templars.
Yeah.
Very
We'll
strong.
do Templars, and we'll do execute. I'll do
I think I'm
Executioner,
gonna, man. Like,
and it's going to be great.
okay, we will do it.
We'll do it.
It
We'll
is.
be buddies.
We'll do a doubles and just run pure melee Space Marines. People will be like,
Yes.
God damn it.
Yes.
Oh, another thing. You guys remember the Impulsors that came out?
Which
The little hover rhinos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came out for Primaris?
Yep.
I thought they were stupid and dumb and useless until now I finally realized, like, you have assault intercessors, and they'll make great use of it because they can actually ride inside the damn thing and get out,
Yeah.
and then charge from it. Because in this edition, you can charge after you dismount. So, yeah, man.
Cool.
Fucking A. Probably see more of those. What do you guys think of the quad bike, huh? The little
Somebody was playing a lot of Halo when they designed that.
yeah, dude,
had
exactly.
So many wins recently
Like-
with models, and that one, the conversion potential for it is going to be wild. Like the Ink 28 guys are going to lose their fucking minds converting that into just beautiful, crazy things.
Just
But as a standalone mini,
wow.
I don't like the look of the model. It doesn't make any goddamn sense in the fluff.
Yeah, I think you said
Bad.
it best earlier in chat where you said this model didn't need to exist.
Yeah, it doesn't need to exist. Because if you, Space Marines already have a scout platform. It's called a land speeder, and it can go everywhere that buggy can and more.
And it's not going to get stuck in a ditch.
Yeah, it's not going to get stuck in a ditch. It works over water. It works underwater.
No tires to change.
It
And
works
there's
in
not
zero
a
gravity.
Gatling gun directly over a guy's head.
Yeah, no
What?
Gatling gun over exposed
Like-
driver's position.
That
Okay.
guy's transhuman ears are just going to be bleeding freely.
Like, if that Gatling gun gets depressed,
Yeah. Although I will say,
Oh,
I
the
don't
ears
have a
will
problem.
pop.
even the shock of that would be like peeling the paint off your armor.
But
Like
I will
anybody
say,
who
I don't have
paints
a
these,
problem
I
with
challenge you to
actual
weather
exposed
like the back of the guy's head like extensively.
Yep.
It just bothers me so much.
Yeah, it's not like an actual exposed cockpit, whatever. It's long been established that power armor is the equivalent of AV-10, like in the fluff.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't bother me, but God, you could have done so many cool things. Like
Bad.
Primaris are too cool for sidecars. We get it, GW. But
Yeah.
why?
real
Why
bad.
this? buggy?
I would have been fine with it being servo slaved to where it was just, a little servo skull on it that turned its head wherever the driver looked. That I feel like that's technology they have. But
One
they just
rider-
instead chose to waste another Marine as a gunner when they have automated turrets already that could easily put that Marine into another battlefield role rather
Yeah,
than a
like,
gunner. I don't know.
A one-man vehicle that size would have made a little more sense because, like you say, a speeder, that's 2 Marines. Marines are expensive and rare. All right, we can only figure out how to make 1 Marine operate a buggy and not a land speeder because you don't know how to modify anything because it's the 41st millennium. But, Call, what are you doing? Get your head out of your ass, kid.
Hey, Call. The Gene Stealers somehow found a way to do it. Okay, bud? Why can't you? Okay? Fucking Gene Stealer's ATV is just got a gun mounted on the side.
Orc buggies are 2-man crew. That's all I got to say about that.
You can play your own little Mario Kart
I
double
did
dash.
see that a lot. I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, it looks like Space Marines are taking notes from orcs now, huh?"
Orcs and Mario Kart, baby. Live it, love it.
Oh my god, the Mario Kart fucking memes are hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. Seeing people Photoshop Mario in there, or better yet, Photoshopping the fucking Primaris driver onto a stream of go-karts as they go around a bend.
Yeah. I like the attack bikes. All the new Primaris characters look pretty cool, but damn, you were so close.
The
GW.
gun emplacement that we saw.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I
And, you
will
know-
say it doesn't make sense to have the mechanics of the gun in front of the gun plate, though. That's just my personal.
That's how 40K does it, though. That at least is
guess.
part of the aesthetic of the universe. Just we have exposed cabling everywhere.
Yeah,
Why not? Well,
I don't. Yeah,
Damn,
I mean,
I
if
guess-
there's a
I guess.
malfunction on the gun, you got to get out in front of the gun shield to fix it. So I don't
Well,
know,
that's
but it
why
looks
there's
cool
tech
as shit.
marine
So I'm okay with it.
yeah.
And the fact there's a little tech marine on it.
Yeah, and you can rip that Tech Marine off and put a couple of Imperial militia on it
Oh, bitch!
and use it as your rapier battery. 'cause you know,
Oh,
keep moving anyway.
baby!
Yeah. I got thoughts. and
Mhm.
plans.
But yeah, that's neat. Hopefully, you'll be able to deep strike that. It'll come in like the tarantula guns did on Dawn of War.
100% believe that's what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
And all the Necron stuff. Holy
Jeez.
fuck. The crypto thralls, the little guys with the pickaxe arms.
Yes.
I'm in love. I'm in love with those. I'm in love with that new big walker they have. That's
that is
amazing.
actually like a walking hospital for him or something like that, is the way he described it. It's going to help reanimate your army.
I thought
And
there
it's
was a
also
guy
gonna
with
shoot
the gun.
lasers and
You're
shit,
right.
so-
There's 2 different versions.
Well, there's the Canaptic Doomstalker, which is the really tall one,
Yeah, that's the gun one that I saw. But I'm seeing this.
and then there's
Canoptic
the one that's
reanimated.
in the actual box. Yeah, man.
Either
Really?
way, they're cool, and I might have to get some for Titanicus. Now look at
Oh,
the little scarabs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Some
you went there.
Xenos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
They
look
also-
to be maybe Warlord height, but much slimmer, which I think is a
Mhm.
nice look for Xenos walkers.
Ooh, shit, bitch. What?
Good idea.
Oh.
And I do love that the scarabs got a little bit of an update. I'm not sure if I'm
Yeah.
sold on them being a bunch of different sizes. That
I think it
seems
makes
a little
sense.
Weird.
Yeah, you might want
No
some to
doubt
cut
there's-
cables and others to cut plates of armor and others to
like-
cut tendons. Like you gotta get a bunch of different little scarabs, use the same plans, just make them different sizes so they can cut different things.
Yeah, like I'm sure there'll be a decent reason for it. And I do really like the look, although it is a little sad because for us Epic guys, one of the go-tos, because you can find little Epic Necron warriors, and those are all over the place, and you can find them with like the heavy weapon as well. So what a lot of guys would do is they cut those in half and glue them onto scarabs with the head cut off.
Shit,
Look
yeah,
exactly like
huh.
little destroyers.
yeah,
They would do
yeah.
that with these guys, but
Speaking
I'm
of,
sure there'll be a
they
plenty of
did
scarabs.
show off new destroyers.
Oh, the Walker ones? Is that what they are? The
So
three-legged
they
ones?
have the Walker ones, which are coming in the box set, but they also showed on the community page, along with the Space Marine turret and the Space Marine ATV, they showed a destroyer, their new shooting one that's on a hover platform, like the old one, just
Oh,
updated
the
finally.
heavy destroyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has
Yeah.
been a thing, I think, but now it has a bespoke model.
Yeah, Locust Heavy Destroyer. Well, before the heavy destroyers were an add-on to the regular destroyers, like you
Yeah, it was
got
just like
an
the
add-on
weapon.
kit.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You added
These
to it.
are like this has like if you look at the model, it's got 6 thrusters underneath
It's a
it.
chunky boy.
He is a thick boy. He's it's pretty cool though. In fact, they even
So-
call out his oversized thrusters.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
It does
Like,
look
yeah,
really
this,
cool.
This thick bitch needs extra thrust to get up.
extra thrust, baby.
You can't handle this amount of thrust.
So, who is considering getting one of these? And if you're going to get one, are you going to keep both sides? You're going to probably just play one? Because I personally, I'll get one box because I've learned my lesson with other starter sets to not buy multiples of the starter set because they release the individual kits later on. So I'll get one core set, and then yeah, I'm probably going to keep them both. Man, all the models look really cool and can be used in some form or fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I personally will not be. My 40K will be. In fact, I just bought the last of my Sisters of Battle stuff, so I'm going all in with them. But I will be
Excellent.
very happy to play against these.
Yeah, I think I will take a pass as well. Although I am very excited to pick up some of those walkers on the secondary market because everything in this box is going to be parceled out and be dirt
Oh,
cheap,
for sure. Yeah, 100%.
as people try and like sell the half they don't want or whatever. But as much as I love the look of Necrons, I've always kind of wanted a Necron army ever since they first came out in plastic. And one of the you can paint your Necrons this way models that they used to do was like Stormtrooper colors, like the white armor and the black
Mhm.
cabling, which I really liked. It's always sort of hovered into my mind to do something like that. But I'm going to try out 9th edition, even though they haven't fixed the things that I was most annoyed about, at least from what it looks like. Try it out again with my Death Watch that have been collecting dust. And, if it's for me, then might have to start some Necrons. We don't know. I might just bandwagon it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
I've wanted to start Necrons ever since Eddie fucking demolished me with his Decurion detachment, and I was like, I need this in my
Oh, that
fucking
thing was
life.
gross. So gross.
But I
what do we
resisted
What do we
and
think
ended
the price point's going to be? I'm thinking about 250.
Somewhere between there, I
would
think.
have to say, I would have to
I
say
don't know.
250.
Think about the Grandmaster Edition, guys, for
Because
Titanicus.
it also comes with the core rule book, and when you buy this thing, you get
Look at
a special cover of the core rule book that's only available through this box, and it's the hardback. So
Soul
I think it's going
Wars
to be
is
250.
also.
What's
I think
that?
Soul Wars is 250.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's a good price. I mean,
I think that is their
It's-
new starting price.
60 models, man. You can't really
Yeah.
complain about the price point with that many freaking models in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't come
It's
with one of those
been
plugins.
fun. I'm excited for sure. It's a bit of good news with all the cancellations of the events this year. So at least they're giving us stuff to keep us occupied.
Yeah, and I do also, speaking of new things they're giving us, the Aeronautica stuff that has come out
Yeah.
just looks gorgeous. Like, you're getting Tau stuff, which I've never been a huge fan of the Tau because they're just communist fish who are way out of their league in a galactic setting. But those Lightnings and those Valkyrie, man,
Do they have Avengers yet?
they do not have Avengers yet. But these have got to be coming. I think they might be holding off.
They just
Until,
released the Lightnings and the transports, whatever they're called, Austin. I can't remember their name.
Valkyries.
Mhm.
The Valkyrie transports, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
But it wouldn't surprise me if the Avengers came out maybe in line with a few new ground attack missions.
Oh,
We'll see. Because I think the next box set, if they're playing by the original AI, kind of what factions were there, probably won't have Imperium in it at all. My guess would be Chaos and Eldar.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Because
Get to see
those
some
like,
of the
Imperial Chaos Eldar Tau were like Imperial Orcs Eldar Tau Chaos. Like those 5 were kind of the core factions for the old game. And then Space Marines were like an add-on because at the time they only had Thunderhawks. But I feel like now that Space Marines have so many bespoke flyers, they'll get their own faction in AI come that
very
time.
cool. Maybe see some Zephons or Xiphons.
I don't know, man, because AI is set in 40K, so you might need to wait for it to show up. Although there is a downed Xiphon in one of the Titanicus tables, so who knows? Who knows?
Well, Titanicus is 730K.
Yeah, so you might get like a throwback
Yeah.
box set of AI of just like, hey, look,
Horse
here's a bunch
Heresy.
of random-
Yeah. Kind of like how they did the Horse Heresy for the 40K Space Marines. They had the Horse Heresy box set of Mark IV Tacticals or Mark III Tacticals.
Yeah, no.
So, but I wanted to mention this before we get too farther up. During the reveal on the stream today, on the whiteboard, they had, would red plastic make you build models faster? They had new 40K every year? Question mark. And bring back Howling Griffins just for Eddie.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was behind Pete Foley on the whiteboard. So take those for what it's worth.
Why would you have red plastic?
I mean, they've had red plastic
in
in
the,
some of the
Blackstone.
in some of the starter kits. They have them.
Yeah.
I know, but like, why? What
Because one of
faction
your,
would
one of
be
your
red?
base coats is already done, bro.
I know, but what faction? What models are they using that they're coming
Blood
out in red
Angels.
plastic, man? Blood Angels? What a waste!
That's what the color they were in the
Well, actually-
latest Space Hulk box set.
Yeah, they
That's
were.
true.
They were red plastic.
It's true.
I say latest. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little sad.
Still
But hey,
technically
maybe
latest.
they'll do Space Hulk. Who knows? Yeah. No, I have nothing for this. All of my whiteboard conspiracy theories have gone straight into that fleeting glimpse of maybe Epic. That's all I got.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the mute on Will's screen, and it's so slow where I think unmuting him, and I click it again, and it mutes him back around. So, okay, you are unmuted, Will. Sorry about that.
I'm finally unmuted. Thank you.
Oh, that's why I was so nice and quiet.
We were done with your opinion.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I got put in timeout for talking.
Oh, man.
I love those little things, the little red herrings they're putting in the back, though. Those are nice. Because
The epic one
maybe
isn't
the
a
red herrings, or
Don't you
maybe...
take that from me.
Yeah. Which makes me think that first time they did it with Make Space Marines Small Again was intentional, not accidental, right?
Oh, I don't
Like
think anything on these whiteboards is accidental. They might just be trolling.
Shit,
with
man,
us.
they had me fooled.
They might just be trolling with us and putting up stuff that they're never going to do. But I'm sure that they're closed mouthed enough about like secret projects that I don't think they'd have some marketing guy walk around behind everyone's screen. What's on that whiteboard? Erase it. And then they put up whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah, like an
Whatever
OPSEC sanitation walk or something like that,
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, you got
God,
nothing on your whiteboard. Write some shit on there right now. Just make some shit up on the fly. Do it.
Right? God, I hope there's tiny Marines coming. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Word
For real.
came,
Yeah, guys,
I'd
it's
buy
been
two
a
companies.
good week for them.
It has.
It's been about an hour. We're going to go ahead and take a break and then come back and say some last things, or just continue on for how long, whatever.
I've got like a quarter of my beer left.
All right, cool.
Sounds
Going
good.
to take a quick break. We will be right back. Thanks for listening to another podcast from the Remembrancers Retreat. If you enjoyed this episode, consider leaving a rating on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. You can also find our swag store at teespring.com/stores/RR30K podcast. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at RR30K podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Remembrancers_retreat. You can also visit our website, rr30k.com, for podcast updates and the Battlefleet Heresy Compendium. You can also leave us a voicemail for us to play on a future podcast at 1-929-437-3791. That's 1-929-HERESY1. And you can also leave us an email at theremembrancersretreat@gmail.com. Thanks again. Would you like a shout-out on our podcast? Maybe discounts on our Teespring store? Maybe you'd like to vote for upcoming Heresy grad school topics? Hang out in a private Discord server? Or maybe even just getting a fun podcast sticker? If you're interested in any of that, consider becoming a patron. Patreon funds help for server costs and allows us to make cool content for you to enjoy. Patronage also helps us pay for projects such as our NoVA Open Charitable Foundation Army The Honored, an Ultramarine Zone Mortalis Force that will be up for charity raffle coming this year. If you're interested in getting in on the action, consider becoming a patron today at patreon.com/RR30K podcast. Thank you. And we're back. And before we continue, I would like to thank all of our wonderful patrons, starting with our Praetor tier Alex Selth, Nicholas Quenga, Jacob Dillon, Matthew Boyce, Josh Phillips, Mr. Baldwick, Gardner.Tree of Woe, Joe from Music City Heresy, and Chris Mack. Our Centurion tier Scott LeMay, Andrew N., Black Label Painting, Minis by Applesauce, Angry Boy, John Christensen, Mark Henry, and M. Hernandez. And finally, our Sergeant tier Aaron Maynard, Garrett Lowe, Travis Smith, Duncan, and Emily O'Hare. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I love you.
So what do you guys want to finish up with or continue on with?
Man, I don't know. So we talked already about what we've been in the hobby, right? Have we done anything?
I told you guys earlier, I literally went backwards.
You found that you lost a base, yes.
I could have sworn base 3 of these guys. Nope. Just 2 there. Son of a
I've
bitch.
been rocking the Karachnos steady. I'll have it done tonight, actually.
That thing's
I
looking
got to do
dope.
the Laszlocks on it, and then it's done. I've decided I'm not really going to do pigments on it as heavily as I normally would on my vehicles, because I want it to stay in theme with the current Mechanicum, which really only has pigments on the base of it. You know what I mean? So there'll be pigments on the tracks, and that'll be it. Everything else is going to be left as is an acrylic. But yeah, it's been a fun project. I've been taking it nice and slow. There's no rush to get it done or anything like that. And then just working on Stormcast now, man, trying to get that gold flu. Because I've been have like a desire to do gold, and I keep thinking it was Custodes, but really it was just, no, I just want to do gold. So doing Stormcast, painted them gold.
Those look really good. I like the. I really like the blue that you came up with on their shoulder pads.
Oh yeah, man, thank you. It is just the blue that Jesse turned me on to, which is the Salazar blue, the contrast paint.
Oh yeah, the light blue one.
Yeah. So it's 2 layers of that over gold, over the metallic gold, which leaves it to be this really cool kind of like there is a reflection to it underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the benefit of the contrast, is they are transparent.
Those contrasts over metallics can give you just like beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with it.
So I notice, like, especially with the red contrast, it tends to pull on any metallic paint, which is kind of, but not in a good way. It's like the surface tension gets real
away.
weird. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
so-
No good.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that a couple of times, and if it happens, just like stick your brush in your mouth, because that's what I do to heathen.
Okay.
Like, get the contrast paint off it really quick, hit that spot with just the bare brush, get a little more contrast paint on, and kind of swirl it all back together, and it should cover.
So
that.
it sounds like voodoo.
Pre-wet the surface, right? No, it is a technique like pre-wetting the surface.
Okay.
Right. So you use water or saliva in this case, is with Austin, and you pre-wet that surface, and then when you go over it with your acrylic or whatever, it should follow the same area that was filled by the previous fluid.
Yep.
See, that makes a lot more sense. I thought it was pooling away because there was some shit already there, and I had to scrape it off. But it just shows you can have no idea what you're doing and still accomplish the mission.
Still fucking make magic happen, baby. Yeah.
Or it could just be Austin's saliva has special qualities.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So can you
That's
start
been
bottling
a
that
long-
for us,
Yeah,
Austin?
can you start
And
bottling
sell-
Long rumored. I have been known to slowly chew my way through metal. With the,
Jesus Christ! What are you, some gene stealer? We don't know about it.
that's
Just like,
a
let me go
standard
ahead and
Space
lick
Marine
this
ability,
steel.
sir.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, you can do the acid glands, and one of the things they use it
Yeah.
for is like they can chew their way out of confinement.
Unless you're Sevatar.
Or an Imperial Fist, because I think they lost that one.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking rubes.
Is that the Betcher's gland?
Yeah, the Bletcher's gland.
Bletcher's gland. Bletcher's gland. Bletcher's gland. Ah.
Yeah, and what is it? Blood of Ajax. The guy fucking vomits all over the orc, and oh man, it just fucking eats the orc alive.
Oi, what? Oh, ow.
Burns like half his face off, and then the what is the pain boy is like, "Oi, what'd you do that for, mate?" Like that fucking accent that they do.
Lord. I will say, I do hope I enjoy 9th edition, because I do miss the 40k universe a bit. Like, I love 30k, I love everything about 30k, but sometimes you just want to beat the shit out of some Xeno scum.
Yes, thank you. It is time. These fucking upstart civilizations. That's actually my favorite line from the Necron release trailer, was the king saying, "We got all these fucking upstarts here in the galaxy. It's time to lay them low." And I was like, "All right, I get it." But no, I feel like that is the Imperium. All these fucking upstarts coming in here. Eldar, old sons of bitches, need to go to retirement home already.
Yeah,
Let fucking
okay,
Imperium of
boomer.
Man take over.
I'm really happy they changed up the terrain rules.
Yeah.
I know we talked about that a little bit, but that's one of the more exciting changes I'm seeing.
Yeah, because I felt like an 8th terrain didn't matter.
It
Straight
was literally just add 1 to your save if you were within the perimeter of it. Yeah.
And a lot of things had negative
then-
tier saves anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
And I
And
really-
then ITC came along and was like, if you're on the bottom floor, you can't be seen. So that's what they did to balance it. Was like, if you're on the bottom floor of ruins, you cannot be targeted. That was their balancing, which is great for infantry units like Tyranids that need the ruins to get into melee or whatever. But
Yeah, I do like that they've changed it. You can't see through all these friggin' beautiful mini windowed terrain.
Yeah,
pieces.
because it makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
I love people arguing about it. They're like, this warlord can't see this tank, but this tank can see this warlord. And I'm like, the warlord has 24 fucking inches of movement. How about he just take one step to the left and kill the tank? I mean, you
And I do like that they specifically called that out in these new rules, that a model can more than like 16 wounds or something like that.
18. I got it right here for
18?
obscuring.
Yeah.
So it was a little confusing. I will say it's a little confusing to me at first. And I will say also offside that a lot of the rules that they were showing, there's a lot of wordage to it that if you're not paying attention, then you'll get caught up. Because I spent probably a good 5 minutes trying to figure out the difference between light cover and heavy cover.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's the difference is one is for ranged weapons, one's for melee. And I didn't. And maybe that's just, proof of my terrible, comprehension of words. But
you were not alone. There were a lot of people in the same boat, including myself, until I was able to find a YouTube video that broke it down for me, Barney style. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's like me and Steven found out with Battlefleet Heresy. You can proofread and tweak and write the simplest fucking rules in the universe, you think, and the second it gets out of the real world, you're like, we fucked up.
Yeah. It happens. As soon as you hit that send button, and you're like, oh, wait, no. But anyway, back to obscuring. So the verbiage is interesting, but it says, if this terrain feature, which is the obscuring tag, is at least 5 inches in height, then models cannot see through or over this terrain feature. This means that one model is not visible to another if you cannot draw a straight line 1 millimeter in thickness between them without it passing through or over any part of this terrain feature. The height of a terrain feature is measured from the highest point on that terrain feature. Models
that's interesting. Yeah,
which is fun.
Not like
technically, you can have
not
a 4-inch
general
wall,
level, but
a 6-inch spike in it, and the whole wall becomes obscuring. Oh,
gotcha. Okay.
With that keyword.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of up in the air with that one. Like, I don't know if they're like, in previous editions where they say, no, you don't count the freaking banner or don't count the antenna when you're targeting a model or things.
There's going to become a standard.
Yeah, for sure.
Your opponent.
The second part of this rule, though, is models that are on or within this terrain feature can be seen and targeted normally. Aircraft models and models with a wound characteristic of 18 or more are visible and can be targeted even if this terrain feature is in between it and the firing model. Note that the reverse is not true.
Which makes sense. Like, to me, it just makes sense. Like, obviously you're going to be able to see a Titan no matter where it is, or a Knight for the most part, no matter where it is. And it's a lot easier for, your little Imperial Guard missile launcher team to kind of squat down behind it and not get seen.
Yeah, I saw a lot of grief on the internet today where, like, man, my super heavies we're not going to take them because they're just going to get shot off turn 1 or 2. And
it's like,
and I'll be
that's
honest,
what GW wants.
And I'll be
5 more little dudes.
I don't know what to say. That's like, they might be right. I haven't played enough of 8th edition to really see that, but I have heard where you can take a huge chunk out of these super heavy models pretty quickly.
That's true.
Yes, you can.
But also, they should remember that that's only like that. This rule doesn't apply if you do have like a 5-inch chunk of solid thing.
Right.
Like, if you can still not physically see the model, I think you still can't shoot at it.
True line of sight.
Yeah.
Well, the question is true line of sight a thing anymore in this edition?
It is.
Right.
It is? Okay.
I think it is.
It
I
is.
believe they said it was, yeah.
So if you have something that is like a big chunk of terrain that you can hide your Baneblade behind, it won't be seen. But if you've got, that 3 consecutive windows thing going on, then your Baneblade takes some fire that it won't be able to respond to. It'll be fine. Place your Baneblade better. It's a Baneblade. It'll be okay.
With also alterations to reserves. Why would we take our super heavies out turn 1 when we can bring them in later in games?
True.
And once we are in the position that we want to be, maneuver them in to reinforce positions and then lay down their devastation, right? I mean, there are plenty of ways to balance this out. I think the people that are complaining the most are Night House players because they're already at a disadvantage. They haven't been that good for a little while since their codex. So, hey, this is going to be growing pains for everybody, man. It's a new edition.
Sure.
But I think some of that's also is that players are used to the empty battlefield, right? They're used to everything being able to shoot everything. And so you need all of your models on the table at once because otherwise it just goes to shit. So when things can be completely obscured and maneuvering kind of matters again, you can have your Baneblade off turn 1 and come in later, and it won't automatically lose you the game.
And we'll
find out.
And we'll see. I mean, like, obviously not all the rules are out yet, so who knows what kind of changes they might have made to monstrous large creatures or super heavies and whatnot. I don't know.
Yep. Have they put out an actual release date for this edition?
Not yet, but probably very, very soon.
One.
If they mention it in the stream today, I completely missed it. But
listeners, if you happen to know where between now and then we find out that there is a date, that'll be interesting. Let us know because hit us up on the Discord. That'd be good. But I'm super excited for it. In the meantime, I'm just trying to come up with different ways to utilize this Crusade system that they're bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy about the Crusade
system. Kind of build your own army as a campaign progresses.
Yeah, it's like the built-in escalation league, and you can do it either. They mentioned specifically you can do it either as like a game day campaign thing, which is what I'll do, or you just your store can be like, all right, we're always doing Crusade. As long as you do this, you can earn upgrades and play that way.
I think the one in Richmond, I think they had that going on for Age of Sigmar to some extent.
Oh, really?
They have the store-wide escalation or whatever they call Crusade.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at the rules, you can be playing this Crusade rules, and your opponent doesn't have to. It just gives your opponent extra benefits if he doesn't have, the veteran units or whatever they are. So you don't, it can really just be like you forging the narrative with your own army, and whatever everybody else is doing, fuck it. You can play this way, you cannot. It doesn't really affect how our game interaction will go. You'll get a few more stratagem points, I think they said. I don't know. Not that big a deal.
I believe there will be a benefit for your opponent, but that's fine. If you're doing it for the narrative anyways, that shouldn't matter. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. I'm optimistic. It's going to be nice to have. I love Horse Heresy, right? Horse Heresy is my beer and pretzel game. It's very simple to me. It can be as in-depth as you want it to be, and it can be as simple as you want it to be, right?
Sure.
I typically just play simple gun lines and just get drunk and then, lose games or something. So
nice thing is because
it's fun.
It's fun, and you don't have to worry about stratagems. You got to really think on your
toes.
There's
a lot less.
You got to be dynamic in the newest editions of Warhammer, and that's the biggest thing.
It's not a combo building game.
Well, to some extent it is, but at the same time,
not near as much as 8th and Age of Sigmar is, though.
Yeah. But when I started playing 8th edition at Will's game day, I can continue to completely forget the stratagems that I have, other than reroll. I just reroll dice. How many dice? Okay, 5. Okay, I'm gonna reroll.
Oh shit! I have super good stratagems I could have been using this whole time.
I mean, I could have dealt 5 mortal wounds or something. I was kidding.
Yeah. Cypher could have just disappeared off the table with his army for two. I don't know, man. I'm making this shit up. But yeah, the point being that you could tell me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. I need to learn more about the stratagems. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Very much so.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, we will wrap it up. We'll end off with some plugs. Ryan, you got anything to plug?
No. Just NoVAOpenFoundation.org. Check that out. 1 July it goes live. And
July 1st,
I think the auctions run through NoVA weekend, what would have been NoVA weekend, so Labor Day weekend. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody have a good one.
Sick.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Austin, you got anything?
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything. Oh, yes. We I got some requests for the Battlefield Heresy book to make it a one-page PDF going down, because right now when you scroll through, it goes to show you 2 pages at once.
Yeah, a two-page spread per sheet.
Yes, so we've fixed that, and it's now 1 page per sheet. We actually added another ship in there
The Cardinal.
as well, the Cardinal, which we referenced several times in the rules and then maybe forgot to actually put in. There was months of editing involved. It's fine.
Months.
Bless the people that do it professionally.
Yep.
So yeah, that should probably be out by the time this airs, and if not, shortly thereafter.
I already uploaded it earlier today.
Oh, good. It's already out. So yeah, so if you have Battlefleet Heresy already and
Version.
are annoyed at looking
4.6.
4.6. So if you have something that's not 4.6 and are annoyed with how your layout looks on your iPad, go download the new one, and there's a fun new ship in there for you. That's all I got.
All right.
Cool. Will, what you got?
I'm just gonna parrot what Ryan said. The NoVAOpenFoundation.org, man. We're gonna have our charity up there, and there's gonna be a lot of other badass stuff up there, and it's gonna be a great way to help support Nova, even with the cancellation going on. So yeah.
And Forge Breaker painting?
Sure, yeah, we can do that. I'm not taking any commissions right now, so there's no need to plug it. But
Check out
if
the
you want
cool
to look
shit.
at cool models, yeah, man, definitely. You can see the charity army as I was painting it up there.
Good stuff. I got one little plug. Came across something. I think Ryan shared it earlier this week, and I thought it was pretty cool AF. Ossified Mods on Facebook put out his third-party expansion to Warhammer Kill Team for the Horus Heresy.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
dude, this thing is cool.
Where was this an hour ago when we were thinking about things to talk about?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Next time.
we're
Next
an hour
time.
and a half, so we got plenty of time. We'll probably talk about this later on in the future, but yeah, this expansion to Kill Team for Age of Darkness is really cool, really well thought out, and I'm excited to try it out at some point. I hadn't played much of the newest edition of Kill Team, which is its own standalone game as opposed to earlier editions where it was just minor rules changes.
Right.
But this looks fun.
It looks really fun, and they actually created a Facebook group just for this.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kill Team as 2 words, Age of Darkness. You look that up in Facebook. And then that's where they're doing all of the updates to the different versions and everything will be there.
Nice.
It's pretty. It's like what 140 pages or something. I mean, it's really
Yeah, they did a good job.
in depth. And the baseline is just the standard Legion units, but then they are going through and adding Legion specific units slowly but surely. So the only thing, just fair warning, I mean, it's all in the 8th edition format, right? So it's like ballistic skill is 3+ type thing.
I mean,
but it's super fast.
Yeah.
Mean, Kill Team is a fast game, and it'll be a fun way to play a different way with your Heresy models.
Yeah, so check it out. Ossified Mods and Kill Team Age of Darkness. And that's it for me. And I guess we'll see next week. Let's see, more Lost Transmissions next week will be released. That's going to be Imperial Fists. Yeah, Imperial Fists. Excuse me. And
defenses. We talk about
and
defenses.
defenses.
And whatnot,
True.
too.
And then
Let's
after
face it, that's all Imperial Fists do.
we build defenses. And then after that, there's a Back to Basics episode. That
Yep.
So if you've been listening to all this, it's like, oh, that sounds cool, but I don't know how the hell to play this game. I'm not sure where to start. We'll start with that episode.
Yeah, we started going through all the rules and then got real excited to talk about legions, and had a couple of people ask us, "Hey, man, can you do like a back to basics just for people who've never played the game before?" And our first thought was, "Why the fuck are you asking me that? Go listen to episode 0." And then we looked at what was in episode 0 and we're like, "Oh, that's why." Because we haven't actually told anybody. All right, touche.
Well, I mean, I think we covered a little bit in a episode of Remembrancer's Retreat maybe a couple months ago, maybe a year ago.
Ages ago. And like we talk about a bunch of the basics, but we never actually lay out like what the turn looks like.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff. And all of that's in there. And when we do talk about things mention things that we talk about more in depth in other episodes, we say like, hey, in episode 3, this is when we talk about this, go look at that for more detail.
Yeah. So when you pop this
Thank
in,
you
it's
for
going to
that.
be, when you pop this into a playlist, you'll have listen to this first and then go to episode 0, and then work your way through. It's like Star Wars, basically.
Maybe we can call this episode -1.
Podbean might kill me for doing that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for me.
Literally, they're like, we're deleting your fucking account. How dare you?
My God, he broke the system. Until next time, keep those dice rolling and bye for now.
Bye. All right, man. Have a good one.
Hey, have a good night. It was good hanging out. I enjoyed this.
Definitely.